I'm not going to let you start. Welcome back. Well, not welcome back, but welcome
everyone.
everybody. We're here and we're talking about the Traitors.
The Traitors season 3, and to start, at
Carson,
least if you've watched us on Survivor on our Survivor podcast, Let's Get Tribal, we have an intro. So we thought we would make one for Traitors.
No,
Here we go.
Didn't. We literally
yes, we
didn't.
Did.
No,
Here
we
we
didn't.
go.
I
Go, Carolyn. You're Carolyn. Say I'm
Carolyn, and I'm
Carson,
intros.
and let's get treacherous.
Not doing it. How about this season? I sit this one out, and I'll let you be treacherous all on your own.
Girl,
Welcome back.
You're the traitor here, so we're here to talk about Traitors.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this with Bergie, I'm sure. Because Bergie's our special guest, if you haven't told. Sorry, I've spoiled it. We're having Bergie. Woo! Bergie was on season 2 of Traitors, if you haven't watched it,
or if you don't know who the hell he is, because I did not know who Bergie was when when Traitors 2 came out. I'm like, wait, who is this?
I didn't either.
Because he was so nervous and scared, and I'm like, who is this person? And then I find out he's from Minnesota, and then I find out that he worked at the Dairy Queen, and I am a fan. Because I worked at the Dairy Queen too for an hour.
Bergie was originally on Love Island. I've not seen it, but I've heard he is amazing. So anyways, and we all love Bergalicious on Traitors season 2. So Bergie's going to be joining us. But all to say, so if you haven't listened to Carolyn and I's original Survivor chat on Let's Get Tribal, this is kind of this is going to be some sort of variation of that. It's pretty much the same format. This time we're just talking about Traitors, and this is way more fun because Carolyn's actually on it. So we're going to be diving into it and just kind of giving our thoughts and having fun with the episode and the season.
While remaining all within the rules.
The rules, yes. So all to say,
we have Bergalicious, and we're excited. And throughout the season, we're going to bring in different people, different Traitors people. Like, obviously, Sandra will be here because we love Sandra.
We love Sandra.
Who else? I don't know. We'll see who.
We'll ask Janelle and.
Oh, Janelle for sure. But we'll see who actually messages me back. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, it will be interesting. Yes, who will get back to you?
Who will get back to me? Let's see.
Well, I'm excited, Carolyn. I have been really looking forward to you being on this show. So when Carolyn went to go and film Traitors, I was actually studying abroad in the UK. So we both kind of went, abroad at the same time, except Carolyn was filming a TV show. I was doing school. And I have been so excited for this moment. I remember posting on my story before Carolyn had gotten a call or an email about the potential to be on the show, and I had joked around. I was like, she would be an amazing traitor or on Traitors.
Traitors, and I was like, stop. And I remember I was really crabby because we were going to Disneyland, and most people are excited for Disney, but I was like, no, thank you, with the lines. Anyway, I was super crabby, and you're like recording me, and I was just so pissed. And then you're like,
I was like, she'd be perfect.
You'd be perfect on the Traitors.
I'm just kidding. No, Carolyn's amazing. And I think there's something really authentic to how you present yourself and how people you relate to you. That's just really cool. And so I hope that this podcast, I having not played and kind of being a fan of the show and of Carolyn and Traitors, I'm going to be kind of like the fan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be asking the questions that we're all asking because at the end of the day, I'm a fan too. And then Carolyn's the player.
Remember, I went out. Don't you remember when I went out to LA and me and Cindy had on our Parvati headbands? Like, yes. I'm going to wear it because that's how I was literally just some dorky fan of the show. And so it's like, now I'm with
I was the one who was like, girl, you've got to watch this. It's so good.
No,
remember?
Drop Your Buffs was.
Well, them too. But yes, I was like, yes, I love it. Because I hadn't started watching Traitors until Sandra and Parvati were on, and I was so excited because like rivalry and like, it's fun. And then weeks later, you got an email without a period at the end.
God, we are like two little babies. Like, it was me first. Like, we are literally like...
Well, okay, we're going to be talking to Bergie. We hope y'all enjoy, and we'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. We have with us Bergie, also known as Bergalicious from Phaedra, with us to discuss episode 1 of season 3 of Traitors. Bergie, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited to talk Traitors because I haven't got to talk Traitors in almost a year. So let's do it.
Ooh. And Bergie, I've told you this, Bergie. Watching you, I was like, I probably rewatched you entering like the first time, like introducing yourself and getting to know people when Ek and Sue and whoever else was like, "You're sweating," and they're pointing out your cheeks are turning red. I felt so like my heart went out to you where I was like, I can't imagine being in that moment and then people are pointing every little, why are you doing that? Oh, I felt so bad for you, truly.
Yeah, that was like a terrible like start to the experience because then you're like, holy shit, I'm gonna get banished. I'm not even gonna get murdered anymore. Like I wasn't even worried about being murdered anymore. I was like, if there's a traitor in that room, they know not to murder me because I'm likely getting banished tomorrow because I was sweating red in the face. Then I go like, and my hand is like, my nerves just kicked in. My hand's shaking a little bit, and then I spill my drink on me, and then like, oh, you just spilled your drink. You're such a traitor. I was like, I haven't done yeah, all I did was go in this room and try to get a drink, and then they're just grilling me right off the bat. I was like, I can't do this.
And that's the deal, like with this. Like, first of all, like you're a pretty normal. Like, can I say that? Good. We're
No,
Minnesotans.
you can say normal.
Like, we are literally like normal people who, you know what I'm saying? We just like randomly showed up on this show, and no, you know what
No,
I'm saying?
I did though. I did.
And you're in this like, first of all, had you ever been to a castle before? I mean, you know what I. And so you go in and you're being introduced, or you're introducing yourself to all of these people that it's a lot. It's overwhelming. So did you feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? I absolutely felt like I actually told myself before I went out there, I'm like, I am not going to walk in there thinking that I don't deserve to be here. I'm not going to walk in there with like, hi everyone, all scared. No, I'm going to have my head held high. I do have a hunch a little, but I'm going to have my head held high and I'm going to be like, hi. And I deserve to be here too, even if I like wasn't on a million shows, you know? So did you feel like that though? Like kind of like
hell no. So this is the worst thing. So I just got done filming Love Island like 2 weeks prior to being on Traitors, and the cast got leaked as I was on my way to the airport. And like instead of like looking at who else is on the cast, I was like, I can't wait to see what people are saying about me going on the show. I bet everybody's so excited for me. Oh no, it was not. It was grilling Bergie. Bergie's gonna get so manipulated on this show. Bergie doesn't have a backbone. Bergie doesn't have this. So I was like, you know what? Screw those people. I'm going on this show. And then I show up, and then I'm like, oh, I don't think I can handle this. They might be right. So
wait,
I remember,
no.
Let me continue. So I stepped out of the van, like you arrive at the castle, and I remember closing the door and looking at like the glass of the van, right? And I just see my face is red. Like it is bright red already. And I'm like more of an introvert. So I'm like, now I have to go greet all these people that have been on hundreds of shows. And I've just got done doing Love Island for the first time 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, how am I going to fit into this cast?
Yeah.
And also I was the youngest one by like 6 or 7 years.
And you did awesome. You really did. You did awesome, but you were so like you were so easy to root for. You're the type that like I watch and I'm like, yes. And then just seeing that growth and seeing like even when people start listening to you and it's like, yes, Bergie does got this. You're the type that I love to root for. I don't like like the evil typically.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
So I have a question for both of y'all because I've not been there. You know, I'm kind of like the fan.
I thought you had.
Oh, well, that's another story. You know, I thought I wasn't allowed to talk about that, Carolyn. I'm just kidding. So what is how are first impressions? Because you get there and like
I feel like you probably recognize some people, but is there like an intimidation factor, or like what is that like? Is it like you instantly or like know everybody's names, or are you like, shoot, I don't know that person. Am I supposed to?
I got out of the van. The only person I knew was Peter from The Bachelor. And that was it. Like, that's the only person I knew when I stepped out of that van. I was like, I don't know. I'd never watched a season of Survivor before. Never watched a season of Big Brother before. Never watched Housewives. Never watched The Challenge. So I had no idea who anybody was. And
doesn't that help though, Bergie? Doesn't that help to not really know?
I think so, but it also killed me.
Help in the sense of like where you're not feeling intimidated, but it doesn't help because you kind of like, it would help to know who these people are so you know how they play.
Yeah, and also have
intimidated.
Yeah, and also have like a relationship with somebody, because like, you know, the Housewives had someone they could go to. The Big Brother people had each other. The Survivor people had each other. Like Trishelle and CT were together, kind of like. So I was like on my own, had to like start fresh, while some of them had like their own little groups right off the bat.
Yeah, it's tough.
How about Carolyn, though? Like, did you feel like that? Like, did you feel like you clicked with the Survivor people right off the bat?
Girl, I mean, like I said, I really like when I got the call, I literally thought it was a joke. Not a joke, but I thought like, no way are they calling me, because again, it's the Parvati's, it's the Cerise, it's the, so what the heck, like, is this the wrong number? So it was such a shock that like from that day forward, I had to like fill my brain with, I can do this. I deserve to be there. You know what? Like, okay, whoever else is there, like, hey, like I deserve to be here too. So I was like, yes, deep down, I felt like just terrified, but I was like, I can't go in there like that. I can't let that show. I can't. And so I told out the window went, but I also thought like, you know what? I want to have fun, and I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to show my personality. And like, you know what? If it terrifies people, so be it. But I'm not like thinking like Survivor where it's like first impressions, or I wasn't thinking about that. I didn't care. So I was like, if I'm excited and loud, I'm going to scream. I didn't think about any of that. But when I saw like the Survivor people, no, I wasn't like, hey, like, or hey, Tony and Jared, like, I literally was like, do you even know who I am, you two? I didn't. So, and I absolutely did not feel like a part of the Survivor gang. So because I'm different.
Well, yeah,
like, I'm
Tony and Jeremy
have had
well, Tony and Jeremy have also played on a season together. I mean, you know, so I can not, and they've won, and they've been in the Survivor community forever, you know. Like, I remember, and if you haven't listened to me and Carolyn's first episode of this podcast, we're back and we've got lots to say. We talk more in detail about Carolyn getting the call and go into that. It's an interesting listen, but all to say, yeah, everyone, one of your things that you told me the most before you went out to film was like, oh my gosh, you know, what are people going to say? Are they going to be like, she's not supposed to be here? You know, like, are they going to be like, why is Carolyn there? And I'm like, no, Carolyn, people love you. You've got to like get in that mindset. And I told you two things. I said, these were my two pieces of advice for Carolyn. It had nothing to do with the game because I knew she would be good at it. And I knew they would make her a traitor. I knew it.
No,
knew it. I told you that. I have text messages.
Prove
Don't
it.
test me. I will. We'll show y'all like next episode. I'll just say, I told her two pieces of advice. I said, smile, because her biggest thing from Survivor was she was always like making faces, which we love the faces, but like I was like, smile more and put those shoulders back because you hunched like nobody else.
And it's awful. It's already awful, Carson. So let's not
Carolyn,
talk about it.
No, I have legitimately noticed you have very good posture in like 85% of the time. And you do smile a lot. There's a lot of those pictures of you, stunning. So
I know.
You did it. Good job.
So anyways, I didn't know who a ton of people were either, Bergie. And I really kind of wish I would have known who some people were, but it is, I felt like 100%, like this is, did you not, like this is high school all over again? Like there's going to be the cliques. There's going to be I never had that, like, I don't have that, how I'm trying to word this. I don't really care if I'm not like at the popular table or if I'm not like talking to everybody or if I don't really care. It's like, okay, then I'll be like on TV all alone, or I'll be like, and it just is what it is, instead of trying so hard to like force my way in places, because honestly it's like, who are the people I'm going to click with out here? I have no idea. It's hard just like finding your crew. I'm glad you were able to. It just,
I was also going to say, though, that as an advantage, did a lot of people know who you were besides the Survivor people?
There were not I wouldn't say a lot of people know, but like people, but I feel like a lot of people there didn't know who a lot of people were, like they really didn't. So me going in, and I don't think Tony knew who I was, but I think Jeremy did. I don't think Tony did. But yes, there were other. Dylan, who's a huge Survivor fan, he was like, oh my gosh, he's like, oh, you know what I'm saying, like, I'll be your Carson. Other than that, though, I think like Bob Harper knew who I was. I don't remember. I was so like, yeah, I loved you on, but I didn't know who they were.
Well,
Whatever.
okay, so then, you have the stress of the day. Y'all are all at the castle, and then you go and sit at the round table, and Alan goes
Carson,
around.
back up that choo-choo train.
Okay, girl, you take it over, take the reins. I just want to get to the good stuff.
I was just
Traitor.
going to say, we skipped over the Boston Rob appearance.
Yeah.
And nobody shook his hand.
I forgot about that part. I'm kidding.
Here's the deal, Bergie. It's like, Boston Rob is so well known. People know who he is. It's kind of like, oh snap. And it's like, you see me kind of like debating, do I want to, do I not want to, do I not? Oh, I don't. And I didn't realize I was being so obvious about it, but I can't control, like, and the way you like thinking about it, it's like, what the heck would I want to, like, this would be the perfect way to get out Tony. Tony's out, but I'm literally replacing one amazing player with another amazing player. What the heck is in Boston Rob is more like the dictator versus Tony. Like, yeah, he's all over the place, but it's like, which evil do I want to go with? Like, come on.
Well, and then also too, like, it just kind of puts a target on your back, like right off the bat. Like everybody's like looking right at you.
Absolutely. And I was so like, I don't know. Because also too, I don't know about you, but I went out there to have fun. And so it's like, I thought, geez, this would be really fun to just do. But that wouldn't be smart.
It would be so fun. Yeah.
But it'd also be so evil at the same time. You're like sending someone home right off the bat.
Absolutely.
Who would you have chosen? Tony, Carolyn?
Absolutely, for sure. That's the only person I was hoping insane. I was hoping Jeremy would like, but he like wouldn't even. You see me like look at him, and he's like, he wouldn't even.
Like, don't do it.
How long did y'all wait? Because TV always makes it seem like quick or long. I mean, like what? How long was he like?
A few minutes.
Where y'all were just standing there?
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, we have to think about it. And so, yeah, and then it's just so weird because he's staring at everybody, kind of like a puppy at the dog mill or something, or the shelter.
Oh my God.
And you're just thinking like, oh my gosh. And again, it's Boston Rob. I've never met Boston Rob. I've never met Tony. I've never met Jeremy. So again, you're in this situation where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm little old Carolyn from one season of Survivor, and that's Boston Rob. How could, yes, I truly did. I wanted to just like, I honestly wanted to just shake his hand so I could just meet him real quick and then be like goodbye. But because it's Boston Rob, like, you know what I'm saying, Carson? But at the same time, it's Boston Rob. Like, what idiot? Yeah.
Yeah, I also thought it was really funny when he was super butthurt about having to leave. But I just finished watching a whole season of him on Deal or No Deal Island, going, these people are idiots for still having me in this game. Like, so he gives credit when people get it. Like, he doesn't give credit when people actually get him out. But then when he does get out, he's super butthurt about it. They're so
of course
stupid.
He is.
Yeah, it's so funny. His ego is just showing.
And I feel like with like, they're very different. They're very different. And like the lesser of the two evils, in my opinion, would be Tony. But they're all scary. It's like, seriously, these are the people you put me in here with. There was this thing on my season of Survivor. I don't want to say my season. I'm season 44, where I'm completely
Your season, you were on it.
Yeah. So there's where I'm completely just disregarded, not listened to by these two men. So much so that they are like completely ignoring me. These two bros, these macho men, like bro type. And so I don't do well with that type. And so having like when I see these two, I'm thinking it's like, oh my gosh, what did they do this on purpose after that bro moment? Because I'm not kidding you, Bergie. I was literally like crying on Survivor because I'm excited to talk to people. They just imagine being on TV, being on a reward, and then just being completely ignored like you weren't even there. It's like the story of my life. So anyway, am I that? Like, what's wrong with me? Nothing. Anyways.
I say we just go to the turret. Just go,
yeah,
like,
the turret.
Let's get to the turret. So like we're gonna do the challenge, and then everybody's
goes from what's that?
The turret's the
place where you kill people.
I thought you said turret. Or how do you say it?
Wait, isn't it a turret? What is it called?
Turret, girl.
Turret, yeah.
Turret,
yeah.
Like Tourette syndrome.
Oh, no.
I mean, I think it's the same pronunciation, yeah.
How is it? Like, I went through a whole season of Traitors, and I don't know where the Traitors killed
Wait, maybe we and Carolyn are wrong.
No. I know, because I have to spell it correctly. I looked it up. It's turret.
Turret.
It
is. It's Turret. It's
what is that? Is that part of the castle?
It's a small circular tower, notably smaller than the main structure, usually on a towel. A castle, a towel.
Yep. I'm like, turret? What the?
Dude, I went through my whole season of Traitors calling it the turret.
No, that's correct. You're saying it. I thought you were saying
it sounded right.
No,
yeah, turret.
Like, I'm saying it
Turret.
T-U-R-R-E-N-T.
E-N-T. Yeah, yeah.
Turret, like you're on insurance.
Well, we knew what you meant. Like, who cares,
like,
you know?
I think that's hilarious, though, that I didn't know what it was actually called, but I went through a whole season of Traitors called it the turret.
I didn't know what he meant. I literally was like, a turret? I thought he meant, like, current. Like, let's get to the girl. No, we got to talk about the...
It doesn't have to be chronological, but
no, it doesn't.
Yeah,
we are a mess tonight. It's never gonna...
I think people are gonna enjoy that whole thing that just happened.
Oh, of course. Yeah. They always do.
Yeah.
So let's just give, like... girl. So you obviously, you're like, I don't want to be a traitor. You wouldn't have... You think you would have lasted. So, like, talking to Alan.
Okay. Guess what? I played a lot of Among Us and Mafia before I went into Traitors, right? Like 2020 was
That's
all
so
Among
fun.
Us, right?
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, where my confidence level was at going into Traitors the first time, I probably couldn't have pulled it off. But like, if Traitors was my first show, I think I probably could have pulled it off. If that makes sense. Like, I feel like Love Island demoralized me, and then going home for like that 2 weeks a little bit, and then seeing what everybody was saying about me when the cast got leaked, I think I was like so demoralized. I was like, let me be a faithful. I think I can show everybody, I can figure out who the traitors are and not get murdered. Because I figured the traitors would underestimate me and not murder me because they think I could be their little puppet. And I was relying on that. So I figured I could actually banish some traitors and show everybody I was smart. So that's what I wanted. But I think I could pull off being a traitor. And nobody's like, no, everyone's in the comments going to be like, no way he could. But I think I could pull it off.
I was just going to say, I'm sure that's what everyone would say about me.
So you guys now enter the castle. You guys chose not to take Boston Rob with you. Let's do like people like Tony Velachos. You're in the same room with him saying he doesn't want to be a Traitors. Are you just calling, like, is it just popping off?
Here's the deal. And I know, like, someone, and I don't want to judge you, Bergie, but if somebody such as yourself, if you told me, Carolyn, no, I do not want to be a traitor, I would believe you. I would be like, yeah, this person he seems like he would not want to do that role. He seems like he's nervous. He's turning red. I would assume that you wouldn't want to do it, which would make you a good one anyway. But someone like Tony, it's like, you've got to be kidding me. There's absolutely, I wouldn't believe that. That's why we're here. That's why we are here to play. We're here. Heck no. There's certain people who can get away with being like, I want to be a faithful. Tony is not one of them. So it's like, girl.
Well, Carolyn, I will say, and you know, watching Survivor back recently. I've not watched our season back until recently, and I just watched a few episodes. But knowing her so much better now, I just like will watch her faces, and I know exactly what's going through her head. It's like I have I've inherited the ability through being her friend for so long, I don't know, being able to read her mind by just the face she makes, because she's a very expressive human being. But there's one thing about Carolyn that I've learned more than anything, and that it's that she has one of the best BS detectors I've ever seen. And it on our season, I can get away with, I don't know, like I can look pretty sincere even if I'm not. But it's true. I had found out that Carolyn's favorite Survivor player was Nora. And so I went up to her and I was like, oh my gosh, I love Nora. And she immediately was like, no, you don't. And I did it. And she knew. And so Tony, I love that you called Tony, and you call people out to their faces too.
And I think
love
that's
that.
like the difference with me, where it's like a lot of people aren't going to do that. A lot of people aren't going to like then go to their, like they're going to go to, they're not going to go to their face and be like, you liar, or yeah, right, what's wrong? And but it's kind of like, does this help me or hurt me sometimes though? Because being so like, who's going to want to work with me if I'm like, so what's wrong? So it's kind of like it's hard. It's like, how much do I want to be busting out? How much do I want to like keep it in? But if I keep it in, I'm not having fun and being myself. And so it's like a balance. It's a middle ground, and I've never had middle ground. So let's go.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we're back, we're going to talk more about Traitors 3, episode 1. We're going to talk about the turret. We're going to talk about the round table. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I have to say it. Anyways, we'll be back.
Carson, you know what's funny? Do you know what my real name is?
Karsten,
right?
Yeah, it's Karsten. Yeah. So it's
oh my gosh.
Karsten, I'm like almost triggered the response sometimes. It's just like,
wait. So where did Bergie come from? I have no idea.
My last name is Bergerson.
Yeah,
Bergerson.
So I wanted to be Karsten on Love Island, but they're like, Bergie will catch on way more. Like, we can do Burgalicious, we can do Iceberg. They already had the nicknames for me, so like they're like, we're doing it. So then, even before I got on the show, I changed my like Instagram handle to Burgalicious.
I thought that you changed it after Traitors.
No, so Phaedra. So I met Phaedra on the flight before going to Scotland. And, she, like, I was sitting next to her. We're in the front of the plane because that's where Peacock sat us. And she was coming in with this giant suitcase, and I see her struggle. I'm like, here, do you need some help? Oh, and then I help her up, and then she sits down, and I sit next to her. She's like, where are you going, sweetie? I was like, to Scotland, because I signed all these NDAs. I'm like, okay, I can't tell her. Like, I don't know who this is, and I'm sitting next to her. She goes, but like, what are you doing in Scotland? I was like, obviously you're going to Scotland. Like, I'm going to Scotland. And I'm just like, I am, she's like, are you going to a castle? I was like, yeah.
So my gosh, that's so crazy.
Yeah, I've already said that on a ton of other podcasts. So if people have seen me, we don't have to put that in. But like, then I was like showing my Instagram, and then she saw Burgalicious, and so like I was her Burgalicious from there on out.
Oh,
that is amazing.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's such BS. I had no one on my flight.
Well, Carolyn, I personally think Peacock set that up so I would trust Phaedra the rest of the season and get betrayed like Suri did. I think that's what like in my mind. I thought I was a seed for Peacock because they wanted another Suri situation where I would go to the end with Phaedra. That's in my brain. Like, Peacock was already playing the game before the game even started.
Wow.
You see how I envisioned that, right?
Yeah.
I was playing the game before I even played the game.
That is
I had no one to play the game with.
Crazy.
Well,
neither did I. Nobody wanted to keep me alive.
No, and same within episode 1. Like, who's with me? So, anyway. So, where are we at the... let's go around
the table.
Let's talk about your meeting with Alan. Let's start there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
happened before the round table, too. So you go in to talk with Alan, and
let's talk about preparation. Or
let's pre-game strategy. Is this all gonna make the podcast? I think it'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah, we're that chaotic. Yes.
Here's the deal, Bergie. Let's talk about preparation. I remember I'm like, you know what? Should I be working out? I should probably. And then I'm like, no, because when I think of the missions on Traitors, I really did not want to be, because it was bad last season. People were not good. I don't want to like talk crap about Sandra because she's a queen, but like, girl, when they were like falling off those little things, and like, I was like, I definitely don't want to be that. But at the same time, I was like, no, I would rather like do other things than no. I wasn't playing Among Us, but I was completely, I wanted to be a traitor. Like, I was like, I am going to be a traitor.
Yeah.
And Carson, you were like, yeah, you're going to, no. I don't believe that. I don't think you ever thought I would be one.
Give me a second.
And I even started to doubt myself, Bergie. I started to doubt myself, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to be, and I have to like, what do you call it? I have to, no, do it later, girl.
Oh no, we're doing it
What is
live.
that called where you like put it on your vision board and then you become like, that's, I'm gonna be the traitor. What is that called, Carson? I need your smart.
Is that manifestation?
Manifestation.
Yes.
Thank you. So I started sleeping in a cloak, and I started wearing it everywhere, and it became like, this became my thing. So I'm going to the airport. I'm wearing my cloak. I'm going to read it. What do you say? Shut up. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh,
I texted Carolyn.
girl, we must have went on the same thing off of Amazon.
I think we did. Was it $12?
It was cheap.
It's so.
It is awful. And I tried after, like, when I came home, I was like, I want a cloak that is as nice as the one out there. Because it was like, the cloak person had like, I had a butt. Like, they were literally like, it was so perfect and beautiful and thick. And now I got this bootleg one. But the whole purpose of it, I'm trying to channel it. I'm trying to, no. I'm going to be a traitor. So I prepared. And during the season, like,
I would sleep in it.
I would sleep in it. I'm like, I'm gonna be a traitor.
She'd walk around the grocery store. Now, let me show you this text I sent to Carolyn on January 30th, 2024.
Well, don't.
I said, I can guarantee you that they would make you a traitor. Okay, Carolyn. So and I have more of these texts. So there you go.
I thought you underestimated me too. Well, you know what I'm saying,
No, I
Bergie?
didn't.
As someone who hasn't played or is only, same as you. Like, I only played one game. I haven't been on a million shows. I'm thinking like, if there's other Survivor players, it's gonna be like a Tony. It would be like somebody who's just more well known. I did not think. So I remember Alan's going around the thing, and I didn't beg him. I was like, do I have to beg? I was like, girl, I want to be a traitor. I am going to be great. Okay. He's going around that circle, and like, it's nervous. But you know what I was doing while he was walking around? I was like, motivation, self-talk. I was like, Carolyn, just be grateful to be here. If you don't get picked as a traitor, who cares? You are here, and you're in Scotland right now. Just soak it all up, have fun. And I'm not kidding you. As I'm like telling myself, like, it's okay if you're not, I hear I feel the tap, and I didn't think it was real. Like, I was like, this is not happening. I felt like, oh, I just did it. And I'm not kidding you. After that, I go out and I'm like, trying to look for someone, because I was like, can someone tell me if this is real or not? I still felt like I was dreaming, because that's like, I know that not everyone wants to be a traitor, but like, a lot of people do. Like, that is where, like, I'm gonna like make it. Like, yes, woo! I didn't think I would make it as like, I didn't feel like obviously the chances of like surviving longer are greater with being a traitor. So I'm like, put me in there. I was so happy. Oh God. So yeah. Oh God, I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I was like, did I win the lottery? So
So Bergie, having been there, were you like listening? Were you like trying to get you because you didn't want to be a traitor, but were you like was there anything you heard or anything?
Yeah, so the funny thing is
What?
No. This is really funny. I heard remember when Larsa said I heard Parvati get tapped? I
Yeah.
heard someone to my left get tapped, and I thought it was Johnny Bananas. So I'm looking over, I'm like,
How
Johnny
do you
Bananas
hear
is
that?
a traitor.
What do you mean, Bergie? You heard someone. How?
No. I heard Alan tap the shoulder because it made like a sound on the fabric.
He was so gentle. Like, I'm not kidding. He was like a baby's little baby finger.
Well, no. But like I heard it on the fabric. So I like looked to my left. I'm like, okay, I bet it was Johnny Bananas because he was like 3 people probably to my left. You don't want to guess who was sitting right next to Johnny Bananas?
Parvati.
Phaedra.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I actually heard Phaedra get tapped, but I looked at the wrong person to my left. Like Johnny Bananas and Phaedra were sitting right next to each other, and I thought Johnny Bananas got tapped. And then he got murdered right away. So I was like, oh, I heard nothing. I thought I heard Alan tap someone. It was nothing.
I'm going to have to watch that back because, like, unless Alan was, like, slapping people, how that... And I'm not calling you a liar.
And some of it was when Alan lifted his... what he was wearing. It made a sound, and then I heard him come down. And I'm shocked, like, I heard that, right? I was like, how did Johnny Bananas not go, like, I'm pretty sure, but, like, I heard that. And, like, I swear I hear it, like, but also, Larsa said she heard it too, and I was like, oh, maybe Parvati's a traitor. And I had that in my notes, so I was like, oh, we got 2 traitors by hearing Alan tap people,
If I were there, I would be holding a little cloth. If I didn't, I don't think if I were there they would make me a traitor. I would hold a little cloth and like with my eyes closed, throw it at some point or like make a scuffle just to throw people off.
You think you'll do that?
I would.
Your nerves would be so high. It's gonna be so high when you're in there. You might bring it in there, and then you're gonna be like, "Holy, I'm not throwing that. That's such a bad idea."
I had dreams. I was like, if I get chosen as a traitor, I'm gonna be like,
wait. What
didn't do nothing. I just sat there and did my weird like
Bergie,
with my tongue.
Could you have technically just like tapped someone on their shoulder beside you? Like, could you
just go over? Hey, Sheree, you want to be a traitor?
Could you have just done that and not even been quiet and be like,
And then Sheree shows up at the traitor's turret that night. Like, I was supposed to be here, right?
Like that's what I'm thinking. Like trick someone to think that they're a traitor. Oh my gosh, it would be so good.
Just watch that happen. I
hope.
God. You're too scary.
But speaking about like looking for evidence from the round table, I know Marcus, Larsa's boyfriend at the time, ex-boyfriend, he was looking at people's shoulders for like a handprint or something because maybe your fabric showed it. So he was looking for that. But, like, there was no evidence of that. But, like, that's what he was saying. I was like, maybe he's a traitor because he's trying way too freaking hard, like Sandoval.
Yeah.
So you imagine, he was right across from me. You imagine taking your thing off and seeing, like...
I probably would have peed myself.
I was like, oh, my... Because you do change. Like I said, I come in and I'm all like, woo! And then you get picked as a traitor and it's like... Holy crap, you're rethinking everything. How do I act? What am I coming off like? Hi, everyone. And then you realize, like, okay, maybe I'm being too quiet now. It's scary. And he was doing it so obviously. Like, he was like, it was so creepy. I just wanted to get out of there. Like, that's how I felt.
Like, as a viewer, it just looks like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? Like, relax a little bit. Like, I mean, like, I wouldn't know what to do with him. Like, I don't know what I'd put. Maybe he's a traitor trying really hard to convince everybody he's, like, looking for the traitors. Like, what the hell?
And so that's where what comes in handy is, like, how is this person, like, because, again, I don't know any of these people from even their shows or real life or, like, then there's, like, the camera versions. And so it's, like, knowing, like, how people started the game, little changes. So people, it's like, how were they when they got in? Oh, okay, now they're acting a little different. But early on, we don't know each other. We're going off of nothing. Let's just be real. It's you know how random it is early on. Come on.
That was the thing, too. People were like, I heard on your season again, people were like, these people are acting more nervous now. Like, no, Like anything you say can get you banished. Anything you say, if you're faithful, can get you murdered. Like there is a double-edged sword. Whatever comes out of your mouth can get you banished or murdered. And if nothing comes out of your mouth, you could get banished. So it's like,
you're damned.
what do you do?
Yeah.
Like people think it's so easy, but once you're in the environment and it's so tense, and you're like, I want that money as well. Like that's like for us, I think that's a bigger incentive than like the housewives. Like $250,000 for us is like life changing. Like for a lot of the people there, it's like, oh, that's just another paycheck.
It's true. Yeah. So that is, it's kind of like, I won't even say it, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like just.
I don't get the prize money, to be honest, because even like, okay, I get that most of y'all have been on shows but like, make it a little bit more incentivizing for y'all. Most of y'all, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I think for like, or at least for the housewives and like, you know, people like Boston Rob and Tony who won or Sandra, Parvati who've all won Survivor, won that $1 million. Two of them have won it twice, you know, like. I would think that they would make it more incentivizing, but at the end of the day, it seems as though the show is just so good, no one cares like what the prize is. It's about being there.
It's about being there and not even necessarily the money. Seriously.
Also, too, like I would say as well, like Survivor, like you played the best game probably if you won the $1 million, as long as you don't have a bad jury. But like in this game, like you could be playing like the perfect faithful game, right? And then you just get stabbed in the back one night and you couldn't do nothing about it. So at the same time too, like I understand it being like lower amount of money, because imagine if you've like played like this perfect faithful game, like you're getting the traitors out, you're doing everything right, but then the traitor for whatever reason, like the night before the finale, just like, oh, I'll kill this person for no reason, and then you've lost it. Like that can happen at any moment.
So we get to the mission and I don't know about you, Bergie, like you were tied up a while, but like with your first mission, but that first mission's hard. And I kind of like before going into it, I'm like, I know that first mission is going to be a hard one, right? Like it's going to be like, bah, bah, bah. Oh my God, there's so much male energy. There's so much screaming. There's so much, hurry up. You know how like, that doesn't help. That's not making me feel like, whoa, let's go team. No, I felt like, shut up, you men. I hated it. Like, but I'm proud of myself. Like I am a rowboat captain. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I sure as hell was not getting off that boat. I just wasn't. Why do that? Because it's like you get off the boat and why you so quick to get off the boat? That's suspicious. But then you stay on. You're not help. There's so many different mentalities. Like you're not helping for the team. No, like, and that comes with like all these different personalities that you don't know these people yet. You don't. So when those housewives were like immediately just jumping off, it's like you made that decision. But when it was, I'm glad that Bob said something, because it was like all the women and the men were like, I ain't getting out. And then it's like, the women aren't strong. So we have actually the muscle. We're the ones who can, it was just, I remember just like covering my ears, because it's like, it's so much male energy of like, we're the strong ones, we'll take care of it. Get out of here. I hated that. So, but we didn't make crap. How much did we? I don't even know. We didn't make a lot. And obviously then it's like all the people that sacrifice themselves. And I don't know what your opinion is of this, but it's like, you chose to do that. You made that decision. Have you seen the show? Don't go and well, I did it for the team. It's like, no, heck no. And you hear Tony like, I ain't getting off that boat. No, you got to do, like, this is a selfish game. You have to take care of yourself. So when they come back all pissed, I get it. And they have a right to be pissed, but like, don't get off the boat.
Well, yeah, and like that's the thing. That's the lesson. If I learned any lesson from Traitors, is you have to be a little bit selfish. You can't be looking out for everybody. Like I was trying to do that a little bit, especially when that last episode that came from me. I was like, shoot, like I don't want to like preach for myself. Like someone saved me, like, but I don't want to be like going out of my way to like prove someone that this should save me. But I should have been like, this money means a lot to me, because there was other people in the castle talking about how the money meant a lot to them, and they've won the challenge before or whatnot. And it's just like, okay, come on. But like, I didn't want to go out of my way to like talk about how much the money could have meant for me. And I think that's where I screwed up. Next time like, if I ever get to play again, or any other kind of game like Survivor, I'm definitely talking about,
I know,
how
like,
life-changing the money could be or whatnot.
we're from Minnesota. Like, we're not living in LA, or you know what I'm like. It's sorry. It's like all literally though, Bergie. All you really had to do is say you're from Minnesota, and like you're. It's true, and it's kind of like give us the money. And I'm not saying it's horrible here. I'm not knocking Minnesota. I'm not knocking Minnesota. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't. Well, except for Janelle. Janelle literally looks like she like lives in Beverly Hills or something. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Janelle's got passion.
So it's like, oh gosh. So when everyone comes back all pissed, it's no thank you. But like, really, then you get to the turret and it's like, who are we gonna pick to murder? Who are we? Here's the deal. What is the first murder? Like, what do we have to do this, and we have to, what do you mean we have to, I think Danielle had said we got to think like 10 steps ahead. What the hell? Like, this is the first murder. Why on earth? What, thinking 10 steps ahead?
She said 20.
20? Oh,
yes.
How
you
the
don't even
hell
know like the clicks? Like how many hours of gameplay have you done? Like 6 or 7, maybe.
Like,
Maybe
like barely anything. So
yeah,
it's like
everybody's met each other, and then like probably by hour 3, the traitors get selected. You go do the challenge. That's like hour 4, and then maybe you go back. That's maybe 6 hours of gameplay that has occurred, and you're still trying to get to know everybody. You can't like make a decision that's going to down the line make this. Maybe by like episode 3, your murders could be like start to be strategic, but like the first episode, it's just a random.
Come on. And so when you have people, and again, of course, no one's going to listen to me be like, and I am not the most articulate. I will own that. I am not I'm not super well spoken. I'm not. But it's like, you know what? This doesn't even make sense. Like, thinking we have, it's like, what the hell? Thinking 20 steps ahead, you cannot possibly do that. Stop trying to make this like make sense. It's not always gonna make sense, and that's the whole point of the show. We are in a castle right now.
Well, also
like,
there's so many twists. Like this is a show where their unpredictability is the basis of the game, you know. So
let's cause confusion. We could have drawn a name out of a hat and it would cause confusion. But for me, like, and you see me pissed because it's like, no, like Dorinda, she comes loud as hell back from the mission, like her would have gotten banished so quick. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So
to me though, Carolyn, you did make sense. You said Dorinda can be used as a shield. Like, I heard you say that. I think though, and this is kind of how I perceived it, you know, the way it at least looked in the turret was that I think Danielle and maybe Bob too, Bob the drag queen as well, had already made up their mind. Like, they already knew what they wanted, and they were just wanting to confirm, not hear a different opinion. So to me, it's like, once you've decided something, especially people who are strong-willed, I think Danielle is one of those people. Once you've decided, one of those people have decided something in their head, they ain't moving. They'll try to convince you to do something else. And if you say something contrary to what they think is, you know, what they want, they're just going to shut you down by, you know, saying, you know, sometimes mean things. I think I heard Danielle say to you, like you haven't still given me an example, and like cutting you off early. Those are just indicative of somebody who's
like, who responds well to being communicated to like that. Like, I shut down.
Rushing you. Yeah.
I'm the same way. And I would agree with you. Like, I'm like the worst when it comes to articulating my words, especially in stressful situations. So it's just like slowing down and whatnot. But yes. I also want to say, I think Big Brother players have made some of the worst traitors that this show has seen. Like, they like to play this game. They want to make it look like they're this amazing strategic player coming from Big Brother. And it's like, we got to think 20 steps ahead. It's just like you said, just taking a name out of the hat is like the most confusing thing that you could do. Like, the most confusing murder that happened on my season of Traitors was the Ekin-Su poison. Because like half the castle thought she was a traitor. So it's like, who the hell is the traitor now? We were going to banish Ekin-Su today. Now she's gone. Now, like, who the hell? Like, now I have like an hour to decide who I'm going to banish. And I was going to banish Ekin-Su. Now I don't know who to banish.
I think Big Brother players are a breed of different reality TV people. Like they are just unwell sometimes. The only one I like have ever, sorry, I said it. The only one I really have ever been like, oh, I watched Janelle's seasons of Big Brother and really liked her. But in general, I feel like Big Brother people are just off their rocker. Like I feel like you almost have to be to get cast on that show.
But I just feel like, again, the Traitors, it's just a different, like, this is like, this ain't Big Brother. Like, this is different. And I
It's
think
Among
that
Us.
it's
Among Us,
it
yes.
absolutely is. But it's like you have all these different personalities coming out there, and then like the people who don't even know where they are, and like I get it, and but it's just like this isn't Survivor, this isn't. But then there are aspects of Survivor where it is like Survivor or Big Brother. Like I get that too, but thinking 30, 20 steps ahead, girl, like slow down.
And I do get it, like thinking about, but like using, what was it, Dorinda? I still haven't got everybody's name down. But like
Dorinda,
her
yeah.
as a shield
Exactly, Bergie.
Yeah, using her as a shield is a perfect idea. And that's something Dan never did on my season. Remember how it's like, oh, they're using Janelle as a shield? They weren't even using Janelle as a shield, but that's how I had their gameplay in my head. I was like, she's like the perfect shield for them. And like they weren't even using Janelle as a shield. They were just like killing people to kill people. And it's just like, that's not how you move. You got to have people that are loud in the house that are going to be like making all this noise, and then people are looking at them and like, you're really loud. I need to banish you.
It's
like, yeah.
So I mean, but ultimately it's like, I don't want to be in the turret all night. So, but yeah, it is. It's but especially it's like the first time, it's the first, and it's like, oh, this is what it's going to be like. Like, wow, this is a very unique dynamic. And
but I will say, killing a housewife was probably good because they have like the Bravo numbers. But like, other than that, like maybe that wasn't
the one everyone was pissed at, like,
but
not
like
everyone.
that's the wrong move. But killing one of the housewives was probably the correct move, but that was the wrong one. I will say that was the wrong one. You know what I mean? Like, I think you agree with me.
Yeah, I literally said it. I was like, not Dorinda. Like, she is the obvious, and it took me a while. I'm like stuttering, but I'm like, she is the obvious, the one. She's like loud. She's in your face. Like people were already suspecting her.
So the way it looked, Carolyn, was that you didn't really want to do Dorinda, but you just gave in. Yes,
of course. I don't want to be in that turret all night. So, and you kind of know when people are listening, or when, and again, I'm still trying to like, I'm trying to be a traitor and like work with the team. And it's like, I'm very used to that feeling of like, people aren't listening. People aren't respecting what I have to say. And again, I get that the way that I talk is a little different. I get that the way that I act is a little different, but it's like, I still have an opinion. Like, I'm a person.
How did we go through the same like life, but both being in Minnesota? We listen to some people, right? But people don't want to listen to Minnesotans for whatever reason.
It's true. It's like, and I can't even be like, I was with like, we were on Survivor. It's like regular people, and not to say that Traitors isn't regular people, but it's like I could see too if
Traitors
it's like
is not regular people.
No, I said Traitors is a little different. Is a little different, but like
I'll say it.
I thought like. What is it? But again, but Carson, you told me that last night. You were like, when people meet you for the first time, like, it's just a little scary.
No, I did not say that.
Were you scared when you met me for the first time?
No,
Bergie, I did not. Those were not my words. Those were definitely not my words.
Well, I thought, I'm like, this person's perfect for reality TV. That was my first impression. Yeah.
Yes.
That was my
very
first
true.
impression. Like meeting you, and just like Carson has been saying, like you have a lot of facial expressions, which is fun. And I was like, that makes someone excellent for reality TV, because I can't wait to see the rest of the season, and like someone you despise, you're just like, whatever face you're gonna make, and like if you're like amused, like whatever face you're gonna make, I'm always excited for it.
The other really interesting thing about Carolyn that I think makes her stand out from most every other reality contestant is that oftentimes producers, for the sake of suspense, will ask the cast member in a confessional or whatever interview, whatever, to be like, okay, weigh the options. What are both sides? And Carolyn does that naturally, and you don't have to ask her. So when they cut to her at the beginning with her being like, what do I do? Do I shake his hand? Do I not? That was a legit thing that she went through, which is why it's so authentic and fun to watch. So on Survivor, Carolyn did that on episode 2, where she found an idol, which is like your immunity from getting eliminated. And it was like there was a way of getting it where it was in a bird cage, and she went and got it. And then she went back to the camp and realized, oh shoot, what do I do? Do I put it back? So her thought process,
I forgot to shut
is
the door
very,
to where I found it.
Yeah,
it was
her
the
thought
worst.
process is so interesting, and I think that more than anything makes you stand out, but also makes you a fun person to root for.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch you guys' season of Survivor. I just started watching Survivor this summer. I started with season 1. Like
what, Bergie?
Yeah, I know, and I've been
season 1.
It. What?
Why
season 1's a far ways back.
I'm honestly, like, after this episode, I'm gonna go watch you guys. I don't want to know how you used Immunity Idol, but I do think it's really funny that you got your Immunity Idol from a birdcage and I got my shield from a birdcage.
Oh my gosh! I just put that
Minnesotans
together.
And bird
I thought that was really funny when you said that. I was like, no way. And like, there's a lot of other like crazy, like, we're both from Minnesota. But did you get third on Survivor? Yeah, I got third on Love Island, and then my second show was Traitors. Worked at Dairy Queen. You worked at Dairy Queen. Like, there's a lot of like little coincidences that don't make sense, but it does.
Only for a day.
I know it was only for a day, but
I'm counting it. I worked there. I don't even think I worked there for a full 2 hours. I just remember I was like, okay, I'll be in the back. And I literally walked out the back door and I never came back. I was like, heck, I don't know how you did it. Like, you have like, I couldn't. And I'm like, this is awful. I'm not taking, and then like the salads there. Are you kidding me?
Ew.
I'm like, who's ordering a salad from Dairy Queen? It was gross. It was so gross. Oh my gosh. I couldn't do it.
I didn't even know they had salads. That's crazy.
Yes, they do. Like, really? Ew. Anyway.
I'm going to say I lost 40 pounds eating their salads.
You were eating their salad?
Wait,
you were?
What? From Dairy Queen?
From Dairy Queen. I did a bodybuilding competition and I'd eat their salads to help diet.
Wait. I didn't even know they sold salads. Like, I would think, like, okay, I don't know, a salad place, not Dairy Queen.
No.
That's amazing.
It was free food while I was in college, so I just did it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because
I worked there in college, too.
Yeah. For 2 hours.
But still, we're similar.
Yeah,
but I didn't, I don't even think it was awful.
Well, thank you so much, Bergie, for joining us. This has been so much fun. I'm sure at some point we'll have you back to continue to recap. But where can we find you where can people follow you and stuff?
My Instagram is BergieLicious35. My YouTube, I believe, is BergieLicious35. I'm going to start uploading again. I started last year, and then I realized I did not have the right material for it. So I'm definitely going to bring it back this year. Hopefully try to revive it a little bit. I'm going to try to post like once a month. And then I also have a TikTok, BergieLicious35. Don't post on there enough, but I think I'm going to make a video about Squid Games and Hunger Games because they're like the same show and nobody else has said that yet. And I want to be the first one. So I'll probably be making a TikTok soon. But that's it.
Nice.
Like, I don't post ever.
Are you going to be on the next Squid Games?
No. I'm talking about the show.
Yeah.
I would love to be on the next Squid Games, though, if they asked.
You like that show?
The Korean one? I haven't seen the reality TV version.
That's okay. You're not talking reality one.
The legit one is really good.
The legit one. Okay.
Yeah, I watched it all in one night.
Dude, but it's literally like the Hunger Games. Like the season 1, he tried to end the games. That's like when they're trying to eat the berries right at the end. You know what I mean? Like it's the exact same. And then season 2, it's like the
Don't tell me. I haven't watched it. Don't tell me.
Oh shit!
Don't tell me. Okay, I need to watch it. I forgot that came on Netflix. Oh my gosh. Okay, well,
yeah.
thanks, Bergie, so much. We'll definitely keep in touch, and we're gonna take a break, and when we're back, Carolyn and I are gonna wrap it up. Okay.
No, we're not.
See y'all soon.
Thank
yes,
you.
We are.
All right, we are back, and we are talking about the traitors and treachery. Talking treachers.
Let's get treacherous.
Let's get treacherous. Good, that's real. Okay.
So if you listen to us on Let's Get Tribal, the Survivor version of this podcast, you know every week we have a tradition of asking Carolyn what's giving her life and asking me what's puzzling me. Well, we're going to change it up a little bit for this Traitors Let's Get Treacherous podcast. And so this time we're going to ask Carolyn what her favorite moment from the episode was. Ooh. And then we'll get to mine in a second. But I'll go ahead and say it. And we're going to, for me, I'm going to translate a Carolyn picture because I am the Carolyn translator from the Traitors episode. I am.
So are you saying... since I'm a traitor, like, are you, like, so are my faces easily, like, readable is what you're saying?
For me, as having been
so you have
friend,
to have known me a little bit to actually...
You have to really know you. Like, really know you. Like, even, y'all, I was watching Survivor back, me and Carolyn's season, and...
Now you know.
It was like one of the first episodes, and she made a face, and I legitimately was like, oh my God. I was with one of my friends, and I was like, oh my gosh, if I, like, knowing her now, I know what that face means, and It's the opposite of what I originally thought. And so, like, she has
so don't try to figure me out, anyone who is. You won't.
You won't. It's really hard, but I have a way. So we're going to do that too. So Carolyn, let's start with you. What was your favorite moment from the episode?
All of it. So my favorite though, this is just me being proud of myself. And I give myself credit sometimes. And I was really proud of myself for just holding it in and not running up there like a sprinter sprinting a marathon. Because did I want to shake Alan's hand? Yeah, duh. And so it's like, I'm proud of myself for just keeping it in and not running up there to shake his hand. So that's like, look at me, I'm strategic. I am smart, Carson. I wanted to so bad, but I held it in because I knew that wouldn't have been good for me. But you know how bad I wanted to. I thought I was literally going to like fall over and make myself. Anyway, so I was proud of myself. But I'm also where I'm proud of myself is I wasn't containing it. I go in there, I'm busting in there. And I'm proud that I wasn't, when it comes to like the people in the house, like the celebrities, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't call myself, come on. Look at me with this freaking headband. Anyway, I'm proud that like, I go up to Tony, I'm able to talk to Jeremy, and like, I'm not going to treat you any differently. I'm not going to, and I'm able to call Tony out. I'm able to be like, why are you here? I love that moment with Tony. And then just seeing Wells be like, what the hell with these Survivor players? Like they literally like that we just get out the gates and it's just, and that's how we think, you know, it's like strategizing. We want to like talk about. So I'm glad that like I wasn't scared of Tony. Was I scared of Tony and Jeremy? Yeah, a little bit, because like we literally have watched them. We're fans of them. It's crazy. But I'm like, like you're not going to see what's like, you know what I'm saying? Tony, you don't, I'm not going to be afraid of you. So.
She ain't afraid. Okay. All right, y'all. So this is the screen picture I got. Here it is. When does this happen? This happens once after Danielle talks to Carolyn and they get in an argument and Carolyn makes this face. Okay. If you're not listening, Carolyn is squinching her face and like making this sideways expression. All to say you should switch over to YouTube and look at this, but here's what's going through Carolyn's head, because you're looking at this and she's making a face, and Carolyn makes lots of faces, but I'm going to decode it for you because I'm the Carolyn translator. Carolyn is baffled right now. This is a baffled face, let me tell y'all. baffled. And she's baffled. I rarely see this face. It's when she's so taken aback by what someone has said to her that she's processing it while doing something else simultaneously.
Yes.
But she's also annoyed. So she's having 3 different things going through at once. She's upset. She is and she is trying to get out a form of thought, but she's also taken it back. So she's confused, but she's angry.
Let's add in, and I have ADHD.
And she has ADHD.
So it makes it harder, and a slow processing speed.
So if you ever see that face, you know what it means. And again, this was in response to Danielle. I think this was the moment right after Danielle was like, I think 20 steps ahead. So you get the picture. That's what was going through Carolyn's head. The Carolyn translator has spoken. Well, this has been fun.
Woo, this was chaotic. This was
very
all
chaotic.
Over the place. We'll get better. Like we're kind of like, girl,
yeah.
We're trying to follow stuff and do.
We're
good.
trying
I can
to,
say that.
We're going to be back for episode 2 and 3. We're going to do a combined episode. So stay tuned for that. It will come out this week. At some point, we're doing our best, everyone. And so you can keep following us on our YouTube or Spotify or Apple podcasts, wherever you listen to us. And we'll continue to recap this Traitor season. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for supporting our amazing Traitor, Carolyn. And
okay.
We will see you all next week. And to get treacherous. Okay.
See, I can't do that.
Can you do an Alan Cumming expression or way of saying things?
I didn't do it with Jeff, and I won't do it with Alan because I can't. It's like that he is the master, and who the heck am I then to go in and be like, no, it won't even. I refuse to even do Jeff Probst's impressions. I can't. It's like no.
Wait, let me try.
No, you already did, and it was terrible.
I know, but that's what's good about it.
No, it is. Carson, you're supposed to work on it and then come back for the next episode.
Next episode, I'll try. All right. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.